significant enough done to get a get in that. That was how it started. Unfortunately, it has also become corrupted, as it did in the Catholic Church, to where a lot of times a man will use it as a weapon to make sure his wife can't get remarried, and can't, because she can't get remarried if he doesn't have a get either. So there's all this stuff that goes on. But a get is not a divorce. A divorce is something you go through a legal process to get. A get is a religious release from the marriage, and that's given by a Beit Din or a group of judges. So that's that. Now, as far as being divorced and having to leave the house, that would be a civil. That's not even a religious question, because if somebody gets divorced, then the house gets, and they have to work that out civilly by decisions. I know people who've been divorced for 20 or 30 years and are still living in the same house. They just live as roommates. It was financially disastrous for them to part houses, and they couldn't afford to have two houses. He couldn't afford to pay for, so they just live in the same house like roommates. And I think it's strange, but that's, people look at me and think I'm strange. So it's not, strange isn't a determining factor in reality. So anyhow, to answer the question, a get is not a divorce. It's separate from a divorce. And now I will say this, that we have become exceedingly liberal in allowance for divorce, far beyond what the Scripture gives leeway for. And we've almost become as bad as the Jews who would say, you burnt my food, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you, and now you're divorced. I think God expects us to hold to our vows in things and live that way. And I'm not saying this, please, I know that there are people watching this online, and there's probably people in this room that have been divorced and are remarried, and I'm not speaking condemning that. I'm saying that we as a body of believers need to do better about the expectations of people getting married. Nobody should get married in a hurry, and nobody should get divorced in a hurry. If there's violence or unsafe conditions, then you need to get away from people. And I will never tell a woman or a man who's being abused to stay in that house. That's just stupid. Matter of fact, if it weren't for the fact that we'd go to jail for doing it, I think that if there was abuse going on in a home, that the men of the congregation should go and adjust the attitude of that's the way it used to be. And in the old days, if somebody was abusive to their wife, the congregation leaders went over and laid hands on them. And it was amazing how that fixed quite a few of the problems. But we should not be, we have people that get married and divorced quicker than they change clothes. And that should not be. And the rate of divorce in the body of Messiah is equal to the rate of divorce outside of the body of Messiah. And that should not be. So, and I know I'm a horrible example. Whenever I talk on this and I say you shouldn't rush into marriage, the fact that Pammy and I got married in 10 days, it's contrary to what I